about the 80s and 90s, and that's a good segue into Sherry's keynote talk in about 5 minutes. So who do we have in the 80s and 90s again? Okay. Who wants to share stories? Come on up, you guys. And just, if you can come up and talk into the computer, because Jenny's on, or talk into the owl here, either one.
Who's on?
This thing right here, see that thing on the stand? Just talking close to that.
Okay. So, my mom and I went to the
Step back just a little bit. There you go.
VOTEC Practical Nursing Program 25 years ago this year. We did it together with Sherry, Judy, and Jeannie. And Carol was one of our instructors. And it was then that I decided I wanted to be an instructor. And I started my first job as a nursing instructor in January. So we're in full circle and it all started here. So,
Okay, awesome. So you were an instructor here?
oh, I'm an instructor in Craig at CNCC.
Okay, all right.
So
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah. I've got a little few roots back to Craig. Who else wants to come up?
I'll tell stories.
Absolutely.
Phyllis is always got
What happened?
Where do I stand? Here?
Please go. I think you can stand any place. That'll follow you, but I stand about this far away from it.
Well,
And you can see yourself there. When you talk, you'll see yourself there.
oh,
And you
well,
can see whether you're
I'm not
cutting
gonna
your head
look,
off.
so. So I was in the first ADM program. I graduated LPN here in 1990, I think. And I just continued going to school because I was afraid. I was afraid to go to work. I was a scared nurse. So I went and got EMT and then traveled down to Durango and did my prerequisites. And then they opened the ADM program here. And I have to tell you, I'm very honored that I was chosen in the first program. I was told they were very picky. They wanted people in there that would advance the program and do well. So I was really honored. My biggest honor in my nursing career, other than the people I took care of and the families and everything, was for 9/11. I'm going to start crying now. I was working for Montrose Memorial Hospital as a med-surg nurse when the towers were struck. And every room, every single room had that horror playing over and over as we're trying to do our job there. That's what we saw. We were bombarded constantly. Except the little old lady at the end of the hall had cartoons on all day. So we would go in there and watch cartoons for a minute. But it also drove me that I needed to do something. I had a skill and knowledge that I had attained at this school that I could take out and do somewhere else. I loaded up my little Volkswagen van, and I think I might have pictures back there of it, I'm not sure. And I headed for New York City. The hospital loaded my van up with respiratory supplies, just all kinds of medical emergency stuff, breathing medications. Just, it was amazing. I had a huge amount of stuff to donate from our hospital. And I stayed up there for 3 days. The saddest part of the trip was they didn't need me. They didn't need me as a nurse because they were all dead. I went to the hospital. They had plenty of nurses to care for the people, the few people that survived, and the people that came to work. So I did not do nursing duties. I stood outside the entrance to the site and I handed out water and respirators and food. And I cooked and I did whatever I could do. And I would travel back to New Jersey at night to my van and be in the wilderness to heal from the day. And from the spot I stood, that I did my job for those 3 days, you could smell it. You could smell it, you could taste it, you breathed it. It was all around you. And I tasted and smelled blood, I swear to God, the whole time I was there. And it did not go away till I got to my grandmother's house in Ohio. I did get a key to the city and I dedicated it to my school because of these instructors that took care of us, their knowledge and love, you know, Mother Duck and all her ducklings following behind. They spread their knowledge and love around this whole country. That's what these people did for us. And so we were there, our school was there, and our hospital was there for what occurred after 9/11. The rest of my career is pretty dull and boring. I went to work at a nursing home, and that's where I spent the last part of my career. And I truly, truly love this school and all the wonderful people that made it real for all of us.
Thank you. Anybody else? 80s, 90s? Story?